Hey, Derek.
Hold on one second. Hey, let me call you back. All right. All right, bye. What's up, guys? Hey, Derek, my wife and I are looking at investing in real estate as a wealth building strategy. We've come across and are considering long-term rentals and short-term rentals. What are your thoughts on both? Frank and the Bank. Hey guys, how are you doing? Frank the Bank. What a name. Such a name, isn't it? Anyways, Frank, there's a few things that I would like to talk about on both sides. Let's talk about long-term rentals and short-term rentals. This one, I don't know which one we're gonna do. Probably gonna surprise you, but we are gonna talk about each in depth. I wanna go a little bit more into each, not just both, because there's so much that goes into both. And you wanna make sure you make the smartest move with your investment. But let's eat and talk about it there. Hey guys, first let's talk about the history of short-term rentals versus long-term rentals. Long-term rentals have been around for a long time, since the Roman days, and partitions or landowners that were wealthy wanted to give the people that worked their fields and worked in their houses some type of ownership where they lived. So they created a rental type system. It was like renting. And that's kind of where the first rentals or leases or anything kind of began, was back in those days. And then also short-term rentals. So those have been around a long time, but short-term rentals have not been around that long. They've only been around since the 1950s. So back in the 1950s is when they started as what we know as vacation rentals, right? So vacation rentals shortly turned into short-term rentals. In 1995, short-term rentals got their first online presence, and that was with VRBO, or VRBO as we know it now, which is Vacation Rental by Owner. And then it's turned into Airbnb and all the others that we now know today. So now that you have a little bit of history on both, let's go into the pros and the cons of each. So the pros for a long-term rental are going to be that long-term rentals withstand the test of time. Okay, they've been around for so long and they've tested every which way that they can. So if you're going into a long-term rental, you know there's a history here, and you can really play off of that history. So with a long-term rental, it's more, I would say, safe as a pro. It's gonna be a safe bet, right? So with the history of long-term rentals, you've got to think about the legality issues that come behind that and all the things that have happened over the years to protect you, protect the people that are renting from you, there's a lot of laws that have been put in place that have been withstanding the test of time with the long-term rentals. So another pro with a long-term rental is you're guaranteed monthly income, right? So whether it's a 3-month or a 6-month or a 12-month lease, you're guaranteed that amount of time of money, right? So that's another huge pro. The last pro that goes with a long-term rental is that it thrives in market crashes. Weird, right? So you would think in a market crash, rentals have to do with the market. Actually, they thrive because everybody's got to rent, and if they're not able to buy a house in a market crash, in a housing market crash, then the rental rates are going to go up, and everybody's going to have to rent because they have to. They don't have anywhere else to go. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about a long-term rental. Those are the pros. Those are huge pros for a long-term rental. So now let's swap over to the short-term rental. A huge pro with short-term rentals is that you're going to be able to make a lot of money potentially in a short period of time, right? So for instance, you do a daily rate with a short-term rental. You're not doing a month lease, you're not doing a 2, 3, 4-month lease. You're typically doing a nightly rate, especially if it's a short-term rental in a vacation area, such as Nashville, such as Gatlinburg in the mountains, or such as the beach. You go and you pay a nightly rate. So you dictate that nightly rate based off of different factors that have to do with how many sleeping arrangements there are, how nice of a house there is, how big the house is it on the beach, is it in an area that has a view? There's so many factors that go into it, but at the end of the day, you're still charging a daily rate. So you have the potential to make a lot of money gross each month. Another positive for short-term rentals is you can go whenever you want. You don't have to go and say, hey, I really want to go stay in this house that's on the beach, or has a mountain view, or wherever it is, or I want to go to Nashville soccer game. anything that's like that, you can actually go yourself and you book it yourself. So you have the potential to now go vacation in a home that's being paid for by other people. It's pretty awesome. Another huge positive with short-term rentals is you have the potential to have your entire place furnished. Why is that awesome? Because then you don't have to go spend that thousands and thousands of dollars on furnishings just to get this place like you like it. You can actually buy short-term rentals with everything already in it. The beds, all your silverware, all your plates, all your furniture for the outside. If there's a deck or a patio or anything, all your furniture is already there, potentially. Now some are sold where they're not like that. But if you can get a killer deal on one, you can actually have it fully furnished, and that saves you a lot of money. So you have the potential to make passive income with both long-term and short-term rentals and build your wealth without having to do it yourself. It's pretty neat. It's very smart. All right, now on to the cons of the long-term rental or short-term rental. There's not really a lot of cons to come up with on this. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. It's pretty hard. Do you have any cons for this? All right. Guys, thanks for joining us on another episode of Smart Moves. Had a blast on this one. I love talking about long-term rentals and short-term rentals. It's something that I actually have a passion for myself. So keep in mind, when you are going through those, I don't know why I do that, because the Muns, they're here. It's my house, it's fine. Anyways, when you are going through that and you're thinking about doing a long-term or short-term rental investment, think about those pros, but there are a little bit of cons, not many. It's definitely outweighing on the pros side, so just keep that in mind. But either or, hope you got something out of this episode. Guys, I am a Middle Tennessee realtor. I sell real estate here in Middle Tennessee. So if you guys are looking for a real estate agent, please reach out to me, DM me, comment below. Let me know if you liked the episode. Let me know if you have any other episodes or questions or things you want to talk about. And I can't wait to see you next time. We'll see you soon.
I'm over here pushing buttons, trying to get the right level, like sliding it up and down. Why does it keep moving? Sorry guys, technical difficulties.
So first, let's talk about the history of short-term rental. I said short-term lino. That's so embarrassing. All right, stop laughing.
No, hold on.
All right, there's a lot of talking going on, and it fully just started. I'm like, no. Oh, shit. Yeah, this is not gonna work. I'm like, right.
For the bloopers out.
I don't know what's happening.
This is a terrible idea.
This is great. It's the whole time it's been like dead quiet, and I was like, man, I'm so nervous about talking in front of like a bunch of people while I was quiet. And then sure enough, everything just explodes.
Literally.
What if a meteor just came and hit the side of the thing? Now some are sold where they're not like that. But if you can get a killer deal on one, you can actually have it fully furnished, and that saves you a lot of money. You think that's gonna cut it? All right, so the last one, I'm gonna say lastly, God, dude. Kombucha.
Kombucha.